Yay Networks.
Hello. I'm Emily.
And I'm Laura.
And this is Cheers to That Shit. You got some shit happening.
I do. I have some stuff happening in my life.
In my life.
I'm so stressed out. I can't even form my words. So I am in the Labradoodle breeding arena. And I got a little puppy
boy dog
in my house, and it's just game on. So much so that we had to bring him to the studio today to get him away from.
Because Laura has 4 girl dogs.
4 girl
but
doodles.
only one is
breeding.
Is ready to be impregnated.
Do the nasty.
Do the deed.
So yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time in my house.
You know what is a really good time? Is getting a full description of what dog sex looks like. When you have never asked nor have wondered about it. Well, that was my favorite.
The breeder that I used to work with used to do all of that. I was a guardian for the female dog, but now I'm kind of in it for some other reasons, and we won't get into all that, but I'm kind of doing it myself now, and I'm working with some other people, and so it's a lot more than I thought I was going to be doing.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not interested.
And dogs are very horny. Boy dogs he just wants to hump everything.
Well, I've always had boy dogs, and I've never, I guess, because I'm also not a female dog, so I've never had that situation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you put a boy dog that's been a stud dog before around a female dog that's in heat. I mean, it's just a good time.
That's the way to put it.
Top that.
Well, I don't know if I can. I had this past weekend, I had 2 mommy dates with 2 separate groups of women. Yeah. So I felt very popular.
Yeah. I watched your story from my couch.
Well, so one of them is because my oldest dances. Yeah. So one of them is like the dance moms, and we all went out. And then
I need to get me a kid again.
I have 2. Take your pick. And then just some other moms that I've known for a while, like from an old job. We all went out and just had a really grand old time. And
that's good.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I miss about my kids all being older now is when they were younger and they were in school and they had friends and friends came over, they played sports. Like I was friends with all those parents.
Like, they had friends and I had friends, and now they have friends and I have dogs.
Well, the fun will continue because God willing, I'll have puppies in, about 60 days or so. So
oh my God,
we'll have shenanigans to talk about that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm excited for that.
Yep.
Well, this episode plays nicely into, because this is going to sound actually really corny, and I love that I just thought of this, but like when dogs are breeding, they call it the honeymooning.
They do?
Right? That's what you've always said.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Sure.
Wow. Just say yes. It's like an improv game.
It's called honeymoon.
I swear that's what that shit's called.
It could be.
I've heard it come out of your mouth.
Oh, really? Oh.
Why would I know verbiage of dog breeding? Like they're honeymooning. They're ready to.
Oh.
Look. Anyway, we're talking about honeymoons.
Yeah.
Today.
Not the other word, but
we could. Okay. So I swear you said that.
Okay.
Moving on. Today we're going to talk about honeymooning. We're going to go through just kind of, because this is the time, like if you were engaged around the new year, Christmas, whatever, and you listen to us every week, which I'm sure you all do, or you've gone back to listen to us from the start because you're so obsessed with us. Relax. We're not going anywhere. This would be about the time that honeymoon starts planning. If you're having like a 8 to 12 month engagement or longer. So you want to start planning your honeyroom. Listen, do what you want. You want to start planning 8 to 12 months out. And I know that sounds crazy.
Sounds like a long time, but I think it's really just opening the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it gives you fuck me. I don't know what's happening with my brain any longer. It gives you time.
The whole dog thing
has got me really
off your
thrown.
Yeah.
It gives you time to decide on what you want to do, where you want to go. But it also allows for like some fun planning in the middle of stressful planning.
It is something fun to do that is different. Yeah. It's not part of the wedding and the ceremony and everything that goes into that. It's, it's kind of that, I hate to say light at the end of the tunnel, but it is kind of that like, oh, this is going to be the fun thing that we're going to do. And it's typically, I would say, what most guys really enjoy.
You just read my
of the wedding planning
freaking brain. Yeah. Ryan was like into the catering meeting, the cake tasting, the gift registry, and the honeymoon planning. And that
give me all the presents, stuff my belly, and where are we going on a trip?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Oh God, he's so romantic. But it is. And it gives you time to like, get, if you're going on some type of destination, to get what you want to do in the middle of all of that. But right now in your planning, again, and we're just assuming and talking to probably the one person that's getting married and this timeline falls directly in with, but if you're 8 to 12 months out, you have booked your venue, you've gotten date, like you're now starting to find like, okay, I got to get a photographer. Like it's a lot of time. It gets crazy right at the beginning of planning. And then you have a little lull. And then like the month of, it gets crazy again.
Yeah. So that's when it's like all the big things need to get booked. And then there's that lull time before all the detail and little nitpicky stuff has to happen. So in that kind of 8-month time frame is a perfect time to start thinking about the honeymoon.
Yeah. So travel agents. I swear to God, I don't know what's happening in my head. Travel agents are key.
Yeah, that's the best way to go.
And fun fact, and I know we've mentioned this before, travel agents do not cost anything extra.
Right.
So if you have no idea what you want to do, or you have a budget that you have to stick to, or even if you haven't ever thought of a travel agent and you just kind of want to shop around, this is the time to do that now.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of travel agents specialize in certain areas. Like some people specialize in cruises, some people specialize in all-inclusive resorts, or some people are representatives for like Sandals resorts and things like that.
Yeah, because we're planning a family vacation. I should know this because we're planning a family vacation. We want to go to Disney. Girls don't listen. But a travel agent that I've always used, she has a Disney specialist.
Yeah.
And I was like, would have never
thought of that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it makes it super easy for you.
Well, and they get deals. So if you book like a flight, hotel, and you need a car, they can get you something. So you're not paying like the crazy high prices for everything.
Yeah. Well, that's because they have relationships.
Yeah. They have relationships.
That's why they don't have to charge for the service for you, because they're getting
they're already getting paid.
Yeah. Well, it's like an affiliate program almost. Yeah. It's great.
Okay.
Definitely the way to go.
Let's take a break because I need to get my brain together. I don't know what's happening with me. I swear,
you've just puppy on the brain today.
I don't know what's going on. We'll be right back. And we're back.
We're back.
And I have gathered my thoughts in my brain. I don't know what's going on.
And a small spaz out moment while we were taking
it happens.
A little break.
Life goes on.
Anyway.
Okay.
Money. Show me the money.
Show me the money. Honeymoon funds.
Yes.
I'm going to give my personal opinion.
Yes.
I'm not a fan.
I get that. When it first came out, when it was the first thing, and this was going back a few years, of course, remember wedding websites became a thing. You go on, some of the bigger Wedding Wire, The Knot, all of that, and you would make a wedding website. That started before you kind of can really go anywhere and do that now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be through a wedding organization like that, but shortly after that became a thing. Anytime anybody does it for the first time, it's always like, I don't know if I like that. But then it turns out to be kind of cool. And that's how I felt about the honeymoon fund, because it sort of came off of the registry. Remember how registry used to go to the store and get the little gun thing? And now you can do all of that online. And there's even websites where you do, like baby stuff and wedding stuff and everything. So for me, it kind of was like, oh, that's kind of tacky asking people to give you money. But you know what? A lot of people don't really like to buy gifts off registry. And we talked about that before.
Yeah, we have.
They'll
talked
buy
about
you
that
whatever
before.
they want to buy you. So I think it's great. It's
I mean,
it's kind of warmed up. Warmed up to it.
It makes sense
Yeah.
if the couple already lives together and they already have everything they need and they don't really want anything like new, or because if you've just moved in
Like
together,
housewarming stuff.
yeah, you've probably already had to buy.
Yeah, but everybody
new
wants
thing.
new
I mean, well,
stuff.
everyone wants new stuff, but if you
Yeah.
already live together and you're trying to be sensible, which who really is when it comes to weddings, it makes sense. But I feel like this is like, I can hear like my dad in my head being like, if you can't afford to go on a honeymoon, then you need to save up and go for yourself. Like, but I don't know. That's just me. Like, I feel
I
feel like I'm like, buy me a blender. Great. Chip in for my honeymoon.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't like that.
Oh, that's so funny because I would think that we would be the exact opposite.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But and I get what your dad is saying because, I was raised that way too. And I try to tell my kids that too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not giving you any money for that. You can go get a job and do that if you want to. But, I just think it's like another registry item to me almost. Like, oh, you don't want to buy the blender? Okay, I'll put $45 in your honeymoon fund, whatever. Think about it from this perspective. It doesn't necessarily have to be to fund the honeymoon, the travel, the hotel, the whatever. It could be the spending money on the honeymoon. But also, they could be paying for everything themselves, and that could be like for excursions or activities or things like that.
Yeah, I guess. But then like you don't really truly know what that money is going towards. Like, I'm going to give you $100 and you're telling me it's for the honeymoon, but you're going to pay your electric bill. I know you are. I'm not fucking dumb.
Well, why do you care?
Well,
I mean,
because I have a podcast.
I mean, you know how many duplicate things Jackie got? And she was like, who wants an air fryer? I got 3 of them. And I was like, why don't you return them and get something else? And she was too lazy to do that.
Well, that's Jackie's issue, but
right. But what I'm saying, like, what do you care what the couple does?
Because I just gave you this money to go on a honeymoon, not to fucking keep your lights on. If you can't afford to keep your lights on, maybe that's what you should ask people, a house fund. Because I got shit to pay.
I mean that's fair enough, but I think it's kind of a cool thing. And
most people do. I'm not the majority in this.
Afforded people to go to the Bahamas instead of the Myrtle Beach, whatever. No dissing Myrtle Beach because I love that place. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, somewhere that's actually like a destination.
Yeah.
The other thing with honeymoon funds is that if you are tight on funds, like if your money's tight because you paid for the wedding or your family's paid for it and they've given you this like cap and you're not able to go any further, you might be looking at honeymooning later.
Mm-hmm.
And you might, it might be like a while out, especially if you're getting married in like June or October, which are very popular months to get married in. You're not going to be able to go right away, obviously, because most of that money will come in around your wedding. So it's not like you can turn around and pay for so it's going to be a while. However, people,
so then they might actually be using it for the electric bill.
That's what I'm fucking saying. That's what I'm fucking saying. However, people are traveling and doing their honeymoons later. It is becoming a bigger trend because a lot of people, just time off work. They don't have 3 weeks to take off. So they have a week and they want to take that week off for their wedding.
Right.
A lot of people go on like little mini moons after their wedding. Mm-hmm. And then the next year for their first anniversary, then they'll go on like a 2-week honeymoon, which I do like that idea of being able to do that.
Maybe like a first anniversary
trip. Yeah. Ryan and I did that. And we also went on a honeymoon. So, first world problems. But
well, we had our friend Jessie who who actually her husband had to go away on business to Italy.
Womp womp.
Poor guy.
Damn it.
The timing of it was like 2 weeks before their wedding.
It was something close like that. Yeah.
So they decided to stay a few extra days or like a week later.
It was like a week or so later.
Past his business trip and make that their like pre-honeymoon. Yeah. What do you call that?
I don't know, like an engagement moon.
Oh, an engagement moon. Yeah.
Wedding moon.
So, and because they were going to do that, that was going to be their honeymoon.
Yeah.
So she said it was great because she got to do some things on her own while he was on the business trip, part of it. And then when they had the week there together, she said it was just super relaxing for them and it was fun. And they got to really de-stress and get in the zone. And then they came home and they're like, yay, now the wedding is next week. So
I don't know if I'd like that because then I feel like I'd be like, okay, but I still want to do something now. Like
now that
I
we're
want to,
married,
I want to go do something now.
Yeah. I mean, it was the first time, obviously it was a work trip. So that's how they built it into it. But I was like, that's really fun. That could be a good way to do something too, to, calm yourself down before the wedding.
But no, I do like that. And I like that it is because it gets after the wedding. I have so many friends that get married and literally leave at like 6 a.m. the next day. And I think that is so dumb.
I did that. Dumb. Jackie,
so dumb.
Dumb. Don't do that.
Dumb. It just, you're so exhausted from the wedding. And like, no one wants to wake up at 4 a.m. the day after they get married. Because if you're anything like me, you're going to be drinking at your wedding. Or even if not, it's just, you're exhausted. Like it's just been so much.
You have an adrenaline crash.
Hard crash.
Yeah.
We left 2 days after our wedding, which was really nice. We had
I think a day or two is good.
Yeah. I mean, it was fantastic. So it's too much. I don't understand why people are like, we're going to wake up at 6 a.m. and we can get on our plane at 8 a.m. the day after. Like, don't do that. That's stupid.
God. With Jackie, like we had to go back to the venue. It was like a bed and breakfast kind of thing. So they stayed there. So we had to go back there the next day. And they had packed their stuff, but it was like we had to pick up all the rest of the wedding crap and all that stuff and throw it in our car and get them to the airport. And they were tired. It was just not a good time.
No,
it was not fun.
Really don't recommend that. Even if you don't wait, even if you're doing a honeymoon fund or you thought of doing a honeymoon fund and you aren't going to wait the full year or you have money paid off, like you've already paid it off, but you're hoping to kind of pay it off a little bit quicker with the honeymoon fund, which I did read a couple people put it back towards pay off credit card debt or wedding debt, which good for you, I guess. I still just wouldn't recommend leaving the next day. Like take either like a week, even if it's just like a couple weeks later. We went on our honeymoon, not you and me. Me and Ryan.
Oh, that would have been so much fun.
We should have. We still can.
Yes, there's still time.
Still time. There was a couple there who got married 2 weeks prior. And we were like, at that time, I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. Why'd you wait 2 weeks? But they were like hardcore Italian. And so he was telling me like everything that they did. And he was like, yeah, no, we were still doing family stuff up until about 5 days ago. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, there's so much to do after the wedding that somebody gets stuck with, like returning tuxedos and gathering all the lost.
Well, the marriage license, you got to mail that.
Yeah. And gathering up all the lost and left crap that was at the reception the night before. And, back in the day when people used to write checks for wedding gifts, I had to give all that to my dad to like go to the bank the next day to deposit it. So I'd actually have money on my honeymoon.
Oh my God. Quick tip. Because we got so many motherfucking people that did this shit. I had family write me a check with my first and new married last name, but I hadn't legally changed my name yet. So I couldn't fucking cash that shit for like months. Don't do that. Either write it to the guy or to cash.
Or make it out to cash.
Or just bring cash.
Yeah.
When you write it to like the new name, I was so fucking pissed. There
Mr.
was like,
and Mrs. blah, 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 blah.
Like some were straight to me. Like it was like my side of the family, like my parents' friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not my fucking name yet.
Yeah. Who even writes checks anymore? Just
I don't
FYI.
know.
That's a whole,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's a quick tidbit of a tipful tip. Goodbye. Taking a break again. Okay.
We're back.
Last block.
You're always like, do you want to bring us back? And I'm like, no, but it's like the easiest thing to do. Because I'm thinking, I make it so hard in my head. And you're like, okay, we're back.
Here we are.
This
is it. Final block. Peace. Third time's a charm. Gonna get my shit together. Here we are.
Yeah, well, this could be the most.
I feel like this is where I'm going to thrive.
Okay. Not that it's complicated, but this is the part where you really need to think about what you want to do.
I know. When I was doing, so fun fact about me, I'm a planner. And we've talked about this before. Yeah. I like to plan trips to like the smallest little detail. I like to know where we're going to go. I'll make all the reservations. Yeah. I love it. Mm-hmm. So planning a trip or planning an episode about planning a trip, fucking my bread and butter. I mean, I was like, this is great. And now I need to go travel somewhere.
Yeah.
Which I don't have anywhere traveled.
I have some things coming up. You can plan for me. Will you do that?
Am I invited?
Well, you're going on one of them.
Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I love to travel. So this was really fun. When you are getting your honeymoon plans to go, you got to, or together, you got to figure out where you're going to go. Got to decide, obviously, what you're going to do. And the first thing to figure out is your goal.
I think that's good. No, I think that's great.
Like, do you want to have a relaxing honeymoon?
Right.
Do you want to have an adventurous, adrenaline-filled honeymoon? Do you want to travel? Do you want to be on the go and go see as many places as you can?
Do you want to go someplace warm? Do you want to like a summer type of honeymoon or a winter type of honeymoon?
And it also, this unfortunately too depends on how much time off you have, how much time you're able to get away, and then obviously costs. Not everybody can go on some crazy adrenaline junkie-filled adventurous honeymoon.
Yeah.
But again, if you have your fucking honeymoon fund and I'm so over the honeymoon fund. If you have that and you want to wait a year or save up and do whatever, do a first year anniversary, these are the things that you need to figure out. If you want to have a relaxing honeymoon, this goes, I feel like without saying, but we're going to say it anyway. Obviously, like beach, that may not be relaxing for everyone, but like beach, all-inclusive resorts, whether it be beachy or not, those are the types of places that you want to look at. I loved our all-inclusive resort. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I've been to some all-inclusive places too, but you know what? Life just in general. I mean, when you're married, obviously you're young and you're newlyweds, you don't have kids or everything.
Not necessarily, Laura. That's ageist.
Okay, well,
I'm kidding.
My idea of a vacation obviously now is different, you know, with kids and grown kids and whatever.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, for me, I'd want to go anywhere that was relaxing, but that's, you know, subjective to people.
Yeah, it is. And Ryan and I started out when we were planning our honeymoon. We did start out thinking like we wanted to go on like an adventurous type honeymoon. And I'm really glad we didn't because I got sick. You talked about the adrenaline crash. Like I got sick the day after our wedding. Yeah. I got sick though. And so when we left for our honeymoon, I mean, I was ill.
Yeah.
And it was not fun. So if we went to our original plan,
you would have been miserable.
I'd been miserable.
Yeah.
Instead, I got to sit on a beach chair.
But relaxing doesn't always mean the beach or an island. Relaxing could be a mountain resort in the snow, sitting in a lodge, you know, cozied up, looking at the snow, sipping on hot chocolate. That could be relaxing to people.
Not for me.
Yeah.
But for some.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think just determining if you want to do something relaxing, wherever that may be.
Yeah.
So you have a very chill honeymoon, or if you want to do something very adventurous, whether you're going to go hopping from city to city, or you're going to go hiking or biking or trail walking, or, you know, just things that are a little more active.
Yeah. I was looking for adventure-filled honeymoons. I was kind of like looking into research. I told you guys, I got into this research of travel. This is my jam. So I picked 3 locations, 3 destinations that kind of could fill anyone's like A, B, and C brackets.
Right.
So if you can't go far, if you don't have a long time to go, if you don't have a ton of money, or you don't want to go far and you don't want to spend a lot of money, Costa Rica is amazing. They have like zip lining and all this fun stuff to do. Yeah. It's close. You're not having to go. I mean, obviously you still need your passport, but you're not having to go anywhere crazy ridiculous.
It's very popular
and
now.
It is really popular, but they do have like a fun atmosphere. There are adventurous things to do. They have the ATVs that you can do around the island. Like there's fun things to do. If you want to take it up a notch, Patagonia. That was something that kept coming up on my searches.
Really?
Yes. And I think we've talked about this. My parents actually just went to Patagonia like this past year, and they said it was great. They did so much stuff. They got to see so many different things. They went hiking on a glacier and got whiskey on ice, like glacier ice.
That's cool.
Right. And so there was a lot of hiking. It's obviously different. It's very nature. It's a different kind of vibe, obviously from Costa Rica. And that would be if you have a little bit longer to go, if you have a little bit more money to go.
It's a little farther away.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if you want to go balls out and fucking have the best time, New Zealand. And that was something, again, that I was
take you 2
shocked.
days to get there.
Right. But yeah, you got to have a lot of time. Like that's like, you got to have at least 2 weeks to do that.
I've heard it's beautiful there.
That kept coming up as like one of the most top destinations to
I've never
travel in
lo-
2023.
Yeah. So what's up with that? Because I've never even really. I mean, I know it's beautiful. I've heard it's beautiful. But
Yeah.
what do you do there?
Everything.
Yeah.
They
Is
have
it beachy? Like
yes, they have zip lining. They have New Zealand is like, so you have Australia,
right.
then you have Tasmania, and then you
Right.
have New Zealand.
Right.
So it's south, so it can still get cold. And remember, once you go south of
Well,
the equator, it's opposite seasons.
Right.
So if you're getting married in October and you're going to go
Right.
honeymoon in New Zealand in October, it's going to be springtime. So it's
Right.
still going to be chilly,
Right.
but like December, January, February,
Right.
that's summer. So
Yeah.
depending on, and that's the other thing, you got to figure out when the prime seasons to go, because
Right.
that means it's going to be a little bit more popular, but it's popular because that's when you want to be there.
Right.
But yeah, no, they have like scuba diving, snorkeling, they have water adventure, they have the land adventure. And if you wanted to turn it into an on the go trip, you can do that. And you'd be in amazing, like I think you have Australia, Tasmania, New Zealand. I feel like Fiji is
I could see that
right there. So depending
like
on what you want to do.
South Pacific kind
Yeah.
of.
Top advice though, for if you are going to have an on the go honeymoon and you want to go to different destinations, whether it's somewhere like if you're just staying in like
you
the
could
Caribbean,
go to Europe and go from, like country to country.
Yeah, it
'cause they're
doesn't
so
have
close
to
together.
be like, a 2-day flight to Japan or Australia. But if you are going to do something like that, start with a relaxing and then end with
relaxing.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because you're going to get there. Again, it's traveling anywhere is exhausting,
Right.
regardless of if
You need
24
a good
hours away or not.
24 hours to
Just
get your
acclimated.
bearings.
Yeah. So have that start. And then at the end, you want to relax again before you come back home. But 3-night minimum in each location that you go. So if you have 2 weeks and you want to go to 5 different places, you kind of need to think about that. Because there's going to be 1 or 2 places that you're really only spending a day or 2 in. So you've got to kind of figure that out time-wise, make sure that it all adds up, because you also don't want to be unpacking and repacking and unpacking and repacking. And you're going to have to probably pack light if you're going to be using the same stuff over and over and over again, moving around.
I would say too, just in the times that we're in is to, I mean, me personally, I would stay away from the super touristy things to do in whatever location you're in.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that I hate worse than when we go somewhere, not even on just like a vacation, but just anywhere. If like we want to go sightsee somewhere and it's like there's a line and everybody's there and you're waiting to get in to see something that's like super touristy.
Well, it's like the Mona Lisa.
Right.
That, I mean, they have 2 like.
Well, that's going to be like that all the time.
Well, right. But I mean, like that, it's things like that. So just pick and choose what you want to do, figure it out, get it planned out. And that is why you want to start 8 to 12 months out. Because there's so many different options. Yeah, there's so, and you don't even have to leave the country.
Right.
You can stay in the US or whatever country you're in if we're global.
Too,
but
like you could go someplace nearby that's like not too far away from where you live, or you could even do like a staycation where you just kind of maybe explored some new restaurants or some museums or things that were in your own hometown.
I think everyone deserves, whether you are going to do a mini moon and then do a honeymoon later, or if it's just not in the financial cards for you to do a big honeymoon for the foreseeable future until you can kind of get your bearings in life and finances. I think everyone should at least have like 2 or 3 nights after their wedding to just
devoted to doing nothing but what they want to do.
Well, and just live in that like newlywed bliss. Like it's not, you don't have to come back to reality and now I got to vacuum my house or like, you don't do laundry the day after your wedding.
It's hard to do that if you don't go anywhere, but if you are staying at home, like I said, take some time to, have a date night, explore your own local city or wherever you live and do something fun.
And get a travel agent.
Definitely get a travel agent. That would be the number 1 tip for me.
Yeah, same.
To give out. I just don't think people think that it's just that easy.
No, and it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Well,
that was easy.
That was easy.
Have fun on your honeymoon.
Did I ever tell you about my honeymoon?
Yeah.
We just God. Obviously it was fun. We went to Hawaii. Neither one of us had ever been there. Well, I had, but it was not I was little. Anywho, we had so much fun at our wedding that I just was like, oh, I wanted to be with people. I wanted to keep the party going with everybody. We probably should have waited that couple of days before we left to get that kind of out of our system. Like, oh, now we're ready to go to Hawaii and whatever. Because we did that where we got up the next morning, 6 o'clock, and slept on a 12-hour flight to Hawaii. But I was just like, God, I wish so-and-so were here. We would have so much fun hanging out, drinking dinner. I just wanted all of our friends to be there with us.
Come on, you guys. We're not done. Continue to celebrate.
Well, and then when we were there, it was one of those like, oh, I can't wait to get home and tell everybody about this. And we did this and we did this. So, it was like, while I was there, I was just thinking about how much fun it would be if my whole gang was with me. But
well, fine. We can do a girls trip to Hawaii. I hear you loud and clear.
Oh my goodness.
All right, guys, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, subscribe.
Yeah.
Listen to us every week. Tell your friends. We've actually gotten a lot of people reaching out to us, telling us that someone else has told them to listen to us. So we really appreciate that. We appreciate the word of mouth because it makes us feel good.
I've had a lot of my mom friends lately reaching out to me because their daughters are getting married or their sons are engaged. And so that's kind of where I am in the world. And it's really kind of good because they come to me and ask me wedding stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, tell them to listen to our podcast. So. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll see you. No, we won't. You will hear us next week.
Well, they might see us on YouTube, so
that's true. Bye.